Hey guys, welcome to another ECL highlight game. This is the best of ECL games. We're doing a short series just before the LAN, and we want to show you some of the best games that were played. It was such a long tournament with so many great matches, and it would be a shame to forget about them. This one in particular is from the Africa 2v2 stage. It's a really nice game between AM and Frantic, and it's definitely worth the rewatch. In this one, you'll find a forward castle with 4 or 5 villages that really shouldn't have gone up. This one is good. Enjoy.
Let's see how this game goes, guys. We're launching in now. It is going to be Frantic, CL, and Tim taking on Aftermath, Leary, and Hart. It is Killer B here with you guys. We are in the Africa 2v2 ECL tournament, and of course, I'm joined by the legend himself, Mr. Zero Empires. You feeling better, Zach? Are you warming up?
I'm not a legend. T90 hasn't made a video about me yet.
Oh, okay. So Fat Slob is a legend, but not you.
Exactly. Until there is a Legend of Zero Empires video, you can't be saying that.
Okay. I will stitch my mouth then until until that happens. Are you excited for this set of games? I know I am, guys. It's Ethiopians, Mongols for Aftermath. It's Spanish and Magyars for Frantic in this game.
Different civs again, and I like that, right? I mean, the civilization pool leaves a lot to. I guess you can be creative with it. You can think about it in different ways. I'm not surprised we see Mongols on this map because there's a lot of hunt. Hart in the red to the north. In the blue to the north. A lot of zebra here, a lot of ostrich as well. There's obviously the elephant with 400 food. So Mongols make a good pick, but look at his ostrich. They've kind of spawned like in his wood line. So sucks to be Hart. He maybe could have called a restart here, but I don't know. At the moment, maybe he can get those ostrich. We're back to big trees, by the way, so I can't tell if they're truly stuck or not. But yeah, that kind of sucks if they are stuck, because obviously Mongol won't be able to take advantage of that hunt bonus in that case.
Yeah, Hart right now is pushing in the zebra, but I do think I think those ostrich are stuck in the back, so that will be a little bit of an obstacle for him as the Mongols. He's going to lure in his elephant now, and of course, Mongols chewing that hunt faster will help a lot. For the other teammate on this team game, it will be Leary for Aftermath. He's going to be on the right side of the map. We saw this map earlier in the day, Zach, and we saw players wall it extremely effectively, which kind of surprised me a bit. If we do see some walls coming in here, maybe the Ethiopians player can get some archer production going and get a nice big scary army going. It's a relatively open map with a lot of holes in the wood lines and everywhere, but we did see structure earlier in the day. In the south, we'll see Tim playing as the Magyars. Tim is also pushing in ostrich as much as he can, getting that early game food boost going. Tim will have 3 vills on his wood line, and the Magyars player may or may not go for archers in this case. His teammate is going to be CL. CL playing as the Spanish, I would imagine, will not go for archers, but CL is starting to wall in his side. Did have 4 vills on his side wood line and is chewing through some early game food. So everyone's getting established. What do you think is going to happen here as this game rolls on, Zach? What do you do as Spanish and Magyars for synergy in this game?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you what's not going to happen. The Spanish player is not trushing. A lot of people think that CL will trush because, hey, he's one of those players, right? You know, one of the guys that just like a stray dog type. But no, 4 villas on wood, certainly not a trush. But yeah, the Spanish and Magyars, I think this map, it is possible to go for like the castle because the stone spawns very close to the TC. And if you look at CL's map, it's really not too bad, actually. He's walled off the left side already, and he's working on walling the right. It's not too bad. The problem is he can't wall across this quicksand. He's going to have to wall around it. But he might be able to play defensively, and with a well-placed mining camp, he can even take the gold and the stone with a single building. So efficiency play there from our yellow player. Magyars probably scout rushing, of course, as they are one of the best, one of the strongest scout rush civs in the game. But at the moment, Tim still just pushing in the zebra, and we'll be clicking up in just a moment. Obviously, way behind Hart, who is already up to feudal as the Mongols, and we'll be going for scouts as well, no doubt about that.
Yeah, Hart is just now coming forward with his first scouting, and he's going to find those walls from CL. It's very interesting, or at least interesting to me, that Leary came forward just to see who he was against. He came forward, he saw like one house from Tim, and then he went home. And he probably told Hart, okay, you're up against the Spanish player. And now the Aftermath team kind of knows the score of, well, we've got a walled-in Spanish player. They're obviously going to see the feudal time. They're going to read the tea leaves and understand that, okay, this guy may be going for a castle in Conks. Maybe he isn't. Maybe he's tricking us as well, Zach. But that's probably the case.
Yes.
And because of that, Tim's probably going to be 2v1, isn't he, early on in this game?
Yeah, she should be, but it's going to be really difficult to, if you're Tim, to wall up and defend this. You might be forced to build defensive towers or something, maybe on this right side where the wood lines and the stone is, because if he gets pushed off the stone, he could be in trouble. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, yeah, we've got rush action coming forward from Leary. We've got the super fast scouts from Hart. And there's only one place they can go, and that is to Tim. So Tim is going to have to, well, do his best to not die, basically, until the cavalry can arrive in the form of those conquistador.
Yeah, the cavalry will need to arrive at the right moment because, well, it is feudal Asia now for Leary. He did actually go for the Drush and now to the men-at-arms. He's going to be joined by the Scout of Heart, so they are going to push on to Tim already. Tim's trying to drop down a stable. He's going to need to defend stoutly here. He should be fine against this early push, but oh, there's a hole.
There's always a hole. That's what you have to be very cautious of. These acacia trees, these baobab trees are holy. They're patchy, and they're not safe at all. So yeah. In come the man-at-arms. He's pushed off the wood line. He didn't lose a villager, I don't think. He's only lost a scout so far. But these villagers on the zebra could get caught out as they run back toward the TC, laden with food and ripe for the picking.
Yeah, those villagers are heavy with food. They got about 20 food each, even though they're abandoning ship. They are... Oh, wow, they're all going to get out of there?
They made it.
Wow.
The lowest villager actually didn't gather any food at all. He was like a bait villager. But yeah, Tim is definitely alone in this one. There's no help from CL. CL's walled up, and they're following through with the strat that they planned from the start. Tim will try and wall up his wood line in the south. It's not walled. Of course it's not. There's always a hole. And Hart will find his way in there as well. This already looks like it could be GG for Frantic if this continues. Basically... CL has to get castle and win the game. Otherwise, well, Tim can't really do much from here, basically.
No, Tim's taken so much damage here early on from Hart. Hart is not killing that many villagers, but he's already pushed his opponent off of one wood line and now pushing him off another. The stable, by the way, Zach, Leary has just been standing there hacking away at it with men-at-arms. So there is a possibility that that stable dies pretty soon. Tim building towers, as you might have expected, and trying to defend with spears, but oh god, there's just so many holes in the walls in this position, and it's gone incredibly poorly for Tim early on in this game. CL, by the way, still not clicked up to castle yet, has the market down, is ready for the resources, just needs a little bit more gold.
He's also sneaking some villas off to the side, so I don't know where they're going, but maybe he's going to try a sneaky forward castle drop, but that just seems like a suicide attempt, because if he gets found out, he's doomed. But he is sending 4 villas out on the left side. The attention now being turned to him, as we have scouts and archers coming over from Hart and Leary. They're going to try and find their way through. And meanwhile, Tim is just actually going to repair his stable, keep it alive, and hold the line for now. But yeah, it's dicey. It's dicey. Villagers coming over from CL to try and wall this up. They'll get a couple of hammers down and delay them getting through a little longer, but there are archers there from Leary now. And there's probably a hole here as well. No, there's not. Okay, good job. He actually did wall it up properly. What I don't understand, though, is why did Tim not build a tower in that wood line sooner anyway? Because he definitely should have thought about saving his stone, or keeping his stone safe, in case he needed more defensive towers.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Tim does get a tower up there eventually. And, you know, for all the excitement in the early game and the advantage that I think Aftermath grabbed, this game is going to hinge on what CL does, as you mentioned earlier. And those 4 villagers are still hanging around with bad intentions in their eyes. I don't know what they're planning to do, Zach, because there isn't even a good area to put a castle here. there's almost no ground that is buildable that's big enough. So I guess they're going to choose one spot that works.
Surely he's not going to build a castle here. He is. Okay. Well, if he gets scouted, he's in big trouble. And I think Hart saw the villagers. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay. Because I thought maybe he saw the villagers there because Hart was sending a scout back. Looks like CL is actually going to get away with this. But it's so risky. Like, if he's been scouted out, if those scouts from Hart, for whatever reason, came across to his side of the map, if the archers had been there, those villagers would die and the castle would be denied and it's GG. But sometimes you've got to take the risk and it might just pay off. Those conquistadors can come up, the rush distance is going to be super short, and they won't know necessarily where they're coming from.
Yes, CL rolling the dice, and I think he did get a little lucky there. He spotted the house from Hart, but of course the house with the low line of sight did not maybe see those villagers, and now the castle is up and the conquistador production will begin. Hart's base is pretty open right now on that side, so Conks will run in, maybe unabated toward the stone pile.
Yes, villagers there from CL coming forward as well. Probably thinking, hey, if I fight with my villas, I can buy some more time. And he's going to drop down a siege workshop there. More conquistadors will follow. Castle Age coming in for Hart, though, and Castle Age coming in from Leary. We're going to have crossbows out on the field pretty soon. So if these guys group together, they could hold on. But CL, with the Mangonel coming out already, nice aggressive play. And like you say, it all hinges on CL here. What can he do? Can he save the day?
Yeah, CL maybe to the rescue here. Team Frantic has their backs against the wall. Aftermath winning game number 1 means that Frantic must win this game to keep this series alive. Serengeti is a quite open map. We've seen Tim being harassed intensely, but honestly, he's stabilized a bit and he could get back on his feet. The Conquistadors will have to do some heavy lifting for a while, but that's what Conquistadors do. So some siege and some conks from the yellow player CL. This could work. I don't know. Let's see how this game develops, Zach.
Bloodlines coming in for Hart, crossbow coming in for Leary. So we're going to see knights and crossbow coming out pretty soon. Obviously, as we discussed earlier, one of the best ways to deal with or counter the Conquistador is to stop your opponent making too many of them in the first place. It's not really a remedy. It's more of a preventative measure. But in the end, if they can bring over enough crossbow and make a few knights here, they could suppress the number of Conquistador that CL has. But it's not looking so good already. Hart losing quite a few villas so far, and maybe some more will go down. He certainly can't afford to boom here. He can't afford to make a second TC. He's basically forced to go full defensive here.
Yeah, and it's extremely hard to get those conquistadors off of their horses and dead unless you have ballistics. So Leary on the way to ballistics now is going to try to clean up that aggression. Notably, Castle Age is not in yet for Tim. Tim, after the early game raiding, has taken some stone and built some towers and defended himself. And Tim has added in double stable scouts and now has a blacksmith coming and bloodlines coming. And Tim is going to stay in the feudal age for a little while, Zach.
He's actually going to kill a villager from Leary, but obviously Leary is the Ethiopians, so I don't really know what he's thinking there. If he's planning on really going double stable scouts against the Castle Age Ethiopian player who gets pikemen for free, well, I don't know what to say. But Hart and Leary here going to try and defend Hart's TC. And we've even got monks from CL as well. I love it. I love it. He's got everything. But so far, he hasn't killed the TC, but he is trying. And Hart, of course, forced to repair it. That's costing him wood. And in fact, he's about to run out of wood, which means that there will be no more repairs. If the wood gets to 0, they'll stop. And maybe that TC will go down. Look at this.
Yeah, that TC is on 1k HP, still getting pecked away at by 2 mangonels. It is going to be a fight soon. It looks like Hart and Leary will push in with a couple of monks and a couple of crossbows. Here we go.
Nice mangonel shots, but not enough. In fact, both of the mangonels go down. And you know what? I think they died to the TC there. He got a little bit close. And Hart, although he wasn't able to do much damage with his camels, he forced them out of position. And that, for now, will buy Aftermath a little bit of time. In come the scouts from Tim. Obviously, he runs away because he's fighting camels and crossbow. But, yes, they've actually held on for now. And now we've got a siege workshop from Hart coming out as well.
it feels like I can't think of it as anything other than a blunder here from Tim to add in scouts like this. Double stable, full feudal scouts in a 2v2 is precarious to begin with. In this situation, the Mongols players building camels, which I think is somewhat straightforward versus the conquistadors, and archers with ballistics and pikemen for free. Boy, those scouts don't have much of a prayer, do they, Zach?
Pikemen for free. I mean, exactly, right? I mean, it's so easy for Leary to add 3 or 4 pikes and shut you down. But still, I mean, the scouts can still find an angle. They can still find something here. It's not to say that they won't kill anything or do anything at all. But for now, yeah, the pressure's still going for CL. Question is, has he done enough? Is he doing enough? So far, a couple more conversions. 20 kills and 9 deaths is not too bad. And there go the scouts from Tim. He'll kill a couple of vills, perhaps, but I think he'll get shut down pretty quickly by these crossbow as well.
Yeah, Tim right now is going for damage. He does have the Magyars, of course. He does have Bloodlines, so he's got a good amount of attack, but no defense upgrades on those scouts. They're still roaming around inside of the base, but for now, I think their production is going to slow down a bit because Tim has saved up to click to castle. It's not the end of the world, but it does feel like a little bit of resource that didn't quite pay off for him. Little structure coming in now from CL, putting some houses out in front of his mangonels, which is kind of fun to look at. But we'll see. We'll see, Zach. Do you think he can crack in here and do enough damage? Time is running short, isn't it?
Yeah, he can't get too close to the TC, otherwise he's going to struggle, obviously. We saw him losing 2 mangonels already, and now we've got mangonels from Heart as well. So it's probably easier to deal with mangonels from Heart, since the Conquistador can just run in and snipe them, as he's probably going to try and do right here. There you go, it's gone, and get back. So it's the power of the Conquistador for you, really. I wonder how much resource Heart's actually wasted repairing this TC. Well, I shouldn't say wasted, because I think he'd rather have the TC than not, but I do wonder how much he's spent repairing it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's spent quite a lot keeping that TC up, but it is still holding, and it is still Leary adding in more crossbows. Eventually, they might be able to push this position back. We will see towers coming down on the front from CL to solidify that position. He's kind of all in on that side. Quickly worth noting is that Tim did come forward with a couple towers of his own to annoy 2 of Leary's gold piles. So a couple of nice towers there from Tim on the right side.
Here we go on the top. Hart immediately getting a couple of conversions. That's pretty nice. Conversions the other way from CL, though, as he converts some camels here. Looks like 2 of the mangonels going down, though, really quickly going down, and not a single solid mangonel shot from CL so far. And I feel like, you know, he's been here for so long, just attacking this TC, never getting any further. And now, look, Leary's up to the Imperial Age.
Wow. Yeah, Leary clicking up to Imp, and he's still waiting with enough crossbows to probably crush the soon-to-be raiding from CL. CL's got to be really careful because ballistics on those crossbows could be a problem. Zach, Tim's going triple stable knights. He's going to try to keep the pressure going, and he could catch Leary a little bit wrong-footed. That Imperial upgrade is expensive, and Leary's without much of an army at home right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Leary right now about to get raided quite a bit, and I mean, we saw the towers already. That's pushed him off the gold. 2 gold mines, by the way. And then you've got the knights coming through, and where's the army? It's on the other side of the map. He's trying to help Hart so much that he himself is a little bit exposed. Now, of course, he'll make some pikes. He'll have some crossbow, and he'll soon be upgrading arbalest. But this is about to be a lot of pressure from rams, from knights, from, well, a little bit of everything from Tim, it seems. Towers as well.
Yeah, Tim is coming with the pressure at the right moment. The beauty of Age of Empires is you got to make the snap judgment of what to do in a situation. Leary's on the way to Imp. He'll get a massive power spike from Arb. Go ahead, Zach.
TC's gone. Hart lost it.
Okay. It survived about 15 minutes of an onslaught.
Yeah.
The Arb upgrade from Leary will help hold this side a lot. It probably puts the kibosh on CL's momentum. But how many can you build if you're Leary, if there's knights all throughout your base?
Oh man, and Tim with the Knights finding the gold at the north from Hart as well. Really nicely done there. Hart does have a camel, but he will lose vills and he will lose gathering time. So Hart now, TC gone. That opens up the door for CL to come in, but CL's running straight into those crossbows, and they're about to be arbalest with Bracer, so he's got to be careful. Leary also has to be careful not to take some big mangonel shots, which he's taking. Ouch.
Oh boy. Leary is going to lose a couple of those crossbows as Arbalest upgrade comes in, and he's still on top of that hill. He will hold this, but at a cost. The front gold and stone for Hart and several farms, and a TC are gone.
So many nice mangonel shots, though.
Yeah,
many nice shots. That's what we've been waiting for, and he finishes them off. He gets every single arbalest.
Oh my god.
CL, that's perfect. That is perfect. And now Hart is GG. Like, what can he do? What can he do?
Hart is in so much trouble, and Leary has 6 military, and meanwhile there's about a dozen knights running through his base, just killing all the villagers they can find. Leary is on 39 villagers at this point in the Imperial Age, and he gives the GG. Okay, Zach. How about that for a game number 2?
And just like that, the great equalizer that is the mangonel. Never get overconfident or complacent when your opponent has 2 or 3 mangonels on the field. Because, I mean, Leary lost everything there on the hill. They were even uphill shots. So it's not like CL, like, duked him and hit one epic shot. He hit 4 or 5 or 6 shots and took out everything. Leary was probably a bit preoccupied with the raiding in his own base from Tim, which, by the way, Tim, who did double stable feudal knights for half the game, suddenly just bounces back on 1 TC and just destroys Leary on this right-hand side. So well played to him there.
Yeah, the threat of the conquistadors and mangonels kept, I don't know, 30 archers or so from Leary inside of Hart's base. And because of that, Leary had nothing at home, and Leary and Hart hurt Tim, but they didn't crush him. So Tim comes back with the triple stable knights. That's a well played game from Frantic, man, and a very nice win. Those towers were great.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say feudal scouts. You know what I mean. The
feudal knight. Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, they may as well be feudal knights because he was playing them like they were knights. But I think Tim's mistake that game was just not towering up sooner. Like, you look at his base now, he's got like 6 towers. And then he built 3 forward towers. I think he just needed to gather the stone and build a tower earlier. And then he probably wouldn't have lost so much in feudal. But in the end, look at Tim's KD. 80 kills and 46 deaths. Meanwhile,
KD stats going to look good for Frantic after this game. Now that we can add it to the overlay, they're gonna have a nice looking KD after a game with 150 kills and, I don't know, 80 deaths. So 2-1 KD for them.
So nice, actually, that Frantic bounced back there, because I was really genuinely worried for them. You know, Tim got suppressed in the feudal age. CL, okay, he manages his fast castle, and then he just gets stalled. Like, he doesn't make it past that town center for so long. And the longer that goes on for, the more you have to be worried, right? I mean, if Leary had got Arbalest and killed those the push from CL, I think it would have been over. But the fact that he lost all of those Arbalest was just game-ending for them, and that's why they called GG. So, well played indeed. Nice to see Frantic bouncing back, and we'll get a game number 3.